Do you want to hear a story?
Yeah, yeah. Tell me a story.
When we landed here on January 2nd, we had a small office building, no telephone system, but we were focused on, we had to get this business up and running, actually operational.
You couldn't tell anybody what was going on or what was happening, so they'd call and they'd ask, what are you doing there?
You can tell your family.
Yeah, couldn't tell your family. And of course, Mom's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You'll find out March 26th. Watch Academy Wars.
My boss, Fred Winkler, was in the elevator, and he had this terrible look on his face, and I said, Fred, what's wrong? He goes, Mary Kay, we're underwater. We can't handle the volume.
My first day of work was launch date. So I was caught up in a whirlwind.
Part of me wanted to scream and yell and say, my God, that's great. You know, we were all worried, what would happen if we were all prepared and there was nobody who wanted the product?
Yeah,
AT&T,
exactly.
They wanted it.
It's a product, it says AT&T.
AT&T on it, I want it.
It was about 8 o'clock in the morning the next day, and there was a sea of people. People I had never even seen before.
The food was great. I mean, it got so bad that we would have to take customer callbacks, and they would pile up, like, I mean, we'd have thousands to do.
And we were filling it out on paper as fast as we could, and we would run out of copies and look for our little trainer who was just running as fast as she could to get more copies.
It was like organized chaos.
The ad was so powerful and just so mysterious that I think consumers thought it was a limited time offer and they were going to get it.
AT&T created a whole new way to look at the credit card. The AT&T Universal Card. One world, one card.
It does look different. People like carrying it around, and that research says that that does play an important role. But also, I think the AT&T brand behind it really is what makes it different.
You know, that's the whole concept. It is a credit card, it is a calling card, you know, double purpose here.
Then you start telling them all of the benefits and what we really offer, and they're like, okay, I'm getting what I'm paying for. It's really worth it.
We're always here for them, and AT&T is always their advocate, which is totally different than most credit card companies.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We provide preeminent world-class customer service.
AT&T Universal Card, this is Barbara. How may I help you?
AT&T Universal Card Services, this is Maggie. How may I help you?
AT&T Universal Card, my name is Sonia. How may I help you?
AT&T Universal Card Services, this is Chris speaking.
AT&T Universal Card, this is Cheryl.
AT&T Universal Card Services, this is Mary. How can I help you?
You're very welcome. Thanks for calling AT&T.
Customer delight, teamwork, commitment, sense of urgency, trust and integrity, mutual respect, continuous improvement.
We're set up as somewhat of an inverted triangle where our customers are at the top, our associates are the next level because they have the direct contact with the customer.
And when a customer calls in and says, I want your manager, there's really no reason to get a manager because we can take care of the problem. They just think that they have to have a manager because they think only the manager can take care of it, but we have the ability to do anything.
The customer was a very loyal AT&T Universal Card customer and only brought our card and the little convenience checks that go with it on his trip. And he was frantic because he had just tried to use his card at a French ATM, and the ATM had eaten his card.
So we decided to call the U.S. Embassy in Paris, and I got this great U.S. Embassy person on the phone who called all the banks in town until she found one that was going to be open for 2 more hours and that would cash a convenience check.
And what's going to set us apart and give us strategic advantage over the rest of the bank card business is that we'll drop everything if a customer's in trouble.
A credit card is a credit card is a credit card. Unless you have people to back it up that are good, then you just got another credit card.
Every day we are coming up with yet another systems modification that we need to continually improve the product.
We also look at new products and what we're going to do next and the other things that we can come out with that not only will enhance Universal Card but continue to support the AT&T business.
UCS is being called on quite often to have our executives, our spokespeople, serve as subject matter experts, not only for our business, but for the industry. We're becoming industry experts.
So as marketing may come up with an idea that legal has blessed, that PR and finance have agreed we're going to do, we have to ensure that we have the systems in place to provide the quality service that we've already established in the marketplace.
It's not just a one-person goal, it's an every-person goal from associate to management. And that makes it so great because you know you're not out there by yourself trying to make this customer happy. You know that you're out there with a whole crew behind you trying to make this customer happy. It makes all the difference in the world.
The bilingual team started as a result of an associate's suggestion was the fact that Spanish customers like to speak to someone who is a Spanish-speaking person versus speaking to an interpreter.
Ok, comprendo, señor. Mire, este número, esta tarjeta es una tarjeta para
So we started this out back in October with like 4 or 5 associates, and now we've grown to a group of 17 associates.
If you can justify what you're doing to please the cardholder, then you should do it.
What quality means to me is doing the right thing for the customer and doing it right the first time.
We set our goals at 100%, and we work towards that.
We do work as one big team now. You know, then it's not saying that it's perfect. There are still some problems, but we work them out.
Every day in customer service, you take 150 phone calls or maybe even more if it's just real busy, but you try to treat every customer like you just really care about what they're asking you for. And I had this one customer, and he got into a car accident at the age of 24, and he's handicapped to a wheelchair. And what was really important to James was to have his name changed to Jimmy. It was just so important to him that he closed his account over that. And he also had a dispute on his case, and I was working his dispute and came across the memo where he closed his account for just that one little reason. And I called him up and I asked for Jimmy. And I said, Jimmy, this is Rachel from Universal Card, and I want to talk to you about your account and see if we can maybe work out something where we can get you back with AT&T and get you happy again. And as a result, I got Jimmy's card, and he reopened his account. And just on a personal level, it really touches my heart because I know Jimmy's still hanging in there.
If you think about where we came from the first day of startup where it was crazy, you never knew who was going to be on that phone, and you didn't know what you were going to tell them when you answered the phone. And we've gone from that to this, and it's impossible to imagine where we might be in another 10 years. I mean, you don't even know.